There is so much to like in this film. To begin, it has a well-structured screenplay with a strong character arc and a plot that both resolves itself and leaves us wanting more. It gives us great performances despite the language barrier. The subtitles are well crafted, and I always say, if I can read the subtitles and not be aware that I'm reading them, they've done a good job. And the whole thing is beautifully shot. What a lovely surprise to see underwater photography in a short film.
I thought the filmmakers here did a really good job at showing us the life of someone in this situation, taking this right down to the very personal level with her. And I thought the two lead actors did a phenomenal job portraying those characters. And I just thought this was a really touching film. I loved the way they again portrayed everything, and I thought it was very smartly
I
done.
thought this was a really quietly arresting piece. It was simple in its nature, but it was very thoughtfully done. I thought the performances were beautiful and very believable. Just really honest filmmaking that I think is quite important to hear these stories.
A real haunting piece of storytelling. I thought it was a really fully realized piece of work. I thought the acting amongst everyone was terrific, subtle, and very grounded, very truthful, and conveyed a lot. So the acting was first rate all the way through. I thought the family dynamics were well established and portrayed. It conveyed a real sense of yearning, of wanting to belong to the new world while still tethered to the old world. So it had a real melancholy, haunting quality. Just a really solid piece of storytelling, well framed. There was nothing obtrusive. It just was very straightforward and very affecting.
I thought this film was beautifully shot. I thought the colors they used in it, I thought the coloring of the film was really beautiful. I thought, I absolutely loved the, from a cinematography standpoint, I thought it was the shots that they used were really interesting and really subtle almost, but they also had these beautiful shots of when they're sitting in front of that window. I thought that it was a beautifully filmed film, which definitely for me added to the story. The pool they kind of always portrayed in this very open air light setting, and then at home, especially when she's just about to leave, how it is definitely way more closed off. There's not a whole lot of natural light. There is just a lot of walls. I thought that that was such a great attention to detail. The two places, the two settings was, I thought, beautifully done in a very background subtle way where you still get that message but it's not in your face. I really enjoyed that. I thought that the chemistry between the two girls was really great. I thought that the family dynamic was really well fleshed out. I loved this film. I thought it was absolutely beautiful. I really enjoyed watching it.
I loved how this particular character gathered some strength to speak up and talk to these restrictive family members that have some ways of thinking that are not fair, not representing equality, specifically when some things are forbidden for women just because they're women. I am glad to see this empowerment in women when they take charge and they acknowledge their true worth and start fighting towards it. So I like this.
And I love the bravery and the courage, and how the friendship she made at the pool transcended the pool very early on. So although it seems like she may have had a crush on the girl, it was more about what the woman represented than any kind of emotional connection. So yeah, I really like this, and I'm curious about where she went in the middle of the night. I would love a part 2.
I could swear this one had a heartbeat of its own. I was feeling it. Under the influence of her crush, Ayaneh developed her own body positivity, and she was willing to go to war for it. The imagery was lovely, the close-ups were immaculate, and I really liked the use of water as a theme for its ability to absolve.
I felt so connected because I'm coming from the Middle Eastern family. Afghans are my neighbors. I'm from Iran, and that was so true. That was so true story about them, and that, sense of relief, liberation. It was just beautifully put together. And the last scene that she decided to go out with all the respect she had, and she wanted to break the walls. I love that.
So the first thing that I really appreciated was the acting skill of both girls. They were very professional, but still very spontaneous. They were very expressive and natural with their acting. This film makes us think about the social and cultural gap that divides nowadays society, and how this affects the possibility for women to express themselves and to feel free to be themselves. But there's also the will of breaking with the past, and also expresses the youth rebellion in the face of the dogmas of the past. And I think this is a message that should be delivered to everybody, absolutely everybody, like